Oh my God, it's happening.
This ain't on the test. This ain't on the test. This ain't on the test with your host Brandon in bed. This ain't on the test. This ain't on the test. This ain't on the test with your host Brandon in bed. And
Yo, and hello, and welcome back to episode 2 of This Ain't on the Test with your host, Brandon and Bev. Okay, we are so happy that you decided to come back and visit us again for our second episode. We have some super good information today, all about Black teacher wellness. But before we get into it, Mama, go ahead and tell them about them ground rules, okay? Because what we do here at This Ain't on the Test, we rep the culture: respect, educate, protect. REP, baby. Tell them about the culture, Mama.
Okay, so what do we mean when we say we rep the culture? Well, what we mean is we represent the culture, we educate the culture, and we protect the culture. What is the culture though? That culture is that melanated Black experience. It is who we are and what we are and where we're from and the way that we speak and the way that we move and the way that we create and our ability to persevere and what we are actually capable of. It is that melanated Black experience, and that culture needs to be represented everywhere that we can possibly represent it. It should never be hidden, it should be celebrated. That culture needs to be educated because we need to pull the potential out of our babies and let them be the most magnificent versions of themselves that they can possibly be. And then we need to protect that culture. We need to bubble wrap that thing and keep it safe from all hurt, harm, and danger, because in this space, we rep the culture. Rep the culture, man.
Now, we would not be an educator podcast if there was not a listening objective. So, by the end of today's episode, listeners will be able to understand and implement Black teacher wellness strategies. Now, let's get into it. Okay. Are you doing the introduction of Mama Gia? Because you know what she does for a living. I just know she's my mom.
Well, you can start with that. Okay, wait, wait.
I'm here, blessed and highly favored with two moms. You jealous? They're both hot and smart. Your moms are probably ugly and dumb. Just kidding. Your moms might be awesome, but I've got these awesome moms. This is my birth mother and my second mother, Mama Gia. And Mama Gia is going to be here to be our very first guest on This Ain't on the Test. Mama, tell us about Mama.
The lovely Miss Gia right here is a school counselor at schools here in our area, which is in Savannah, Georgia. She's been amazing forever. I've known her as working with the youth at our church, and I watched her just pour into children and love them, love my child as if that was her own child. Well, see what I'm saying right here, because now she like it's her own personal child. But whatever, I digress. Just an amazing human being on the planet, a positive force, and somebody's going to give a lot of information about the importance of self-care. So here we go with today's conversation, because this ain't on the test. What you got, Brandon?
Today's episode is called, and I'm going to tell you about it in a second when I pull it up.
Mhm.
And now I have it up.
So now you could
So
tell
now
us.
I'm going to tell you.
Mm,
This episode is called You Good, Teach?
What's it called?
You Good, Teach?
Wait.
Like, is you good? Like, are you good, though?
And that's a valid question.
Like,
though.
are you good? This episode is all about teacher wellness and how we are always talking about how we have to teach the whole child. We have to be mindful of their social emotional well-being and growing their life skills and trauma-informed teaching and all of these things about the student. But what about us? What about the whole teacher? So today's episode is all about making sure the teacher is good, which is why we have our amazing mental health specialist, Mama Gia, on the episode today. For our first question, Miss Gia, what does it mean to you when we say the whole teacher matters?
Okay, I just need to clear up. The whole teacher matters in the educational realm, or just the whole teacher matters, period, point blank, just the whole teacher.
Period, point blank, the whole thing.
The same we feel about children is how we should feel about teachers, the whole teacher. Yeah. How is her mental, her physical, because, we in a new school, 3 levels,
And if the elevator breaks, her physical, you
Come
know?
on, you gotta go
Okay.
up and
So
down.
yeah, the whole teacher is the mental, the physical, the emotional, and I'm gonna slide in the spiritual,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because sometimes we gotta pray when we walk in those doors.
Sometimes.
Everything. Okay, so yes, so the whole teacher is the whole teacher. Just as we look at the whole child, in order for her to pour into the whole child, she has to be a whole teacher. You know, her cup should be full because without her cup being full, she can't pour into anyone. So the whole child, whole teacher, parallel.
Got it.
Yeah. When we talk about a lot on this show about Black educators in general, right? That's our like targeted audience, our Black and brown educators who work with Black and brown scholars.
Because they matter. So important.
I'm about to say you gotta have a mate.
I have a mic. Because you matter, you are so important there.
So valued. So valued, so seen. I wonder, how do mental health challenges show up for the Black teacher in the classroom?
How does mental health challenges or
Mhm.
solutions?
Because the mental health is so real in our babies, and they can't really identify. You know, they'll just say, "Oh, I'm bad," or "I'm this and I'm that." That's what the children are saying. The teacher, is it her mental health that she may not be aware of? And is she seeing it through the children? Is she seeing it in the children? Like, okay, this child has this, or this child has that, or I have this and I have that. How are you helpful if you cannot identify your own issues, you know? So if the teacher possibly has, let's just say mental health, if it's anything that she's not being medicated on, we're going to have a problem. If she has a mental health issue that she hasn't identified or been diagnosed, we have a huge problem because there comes classroom management, you know?
That is really important because I think it goes hand in hand, the classroom management and being able self-management. They have to go hand in hand. And also, dare I say, vocabulary. Because if you don't know what to call it, you're going to call it something and then treat that something. And that's not what the problem is. You might just think you're sleepy. And so you keep taking naps. But what it is maybe you're bipolar or maybe you're something else. But you keep taking naps because you think you're just sleepy. If your vocabulary is not extensive enough, you don't know what to call it. And therefore you can't treat it. So I think that is so important. There are so many teachers out there undiagnosed and they think that their mental health is unnecessary as long as they physically show up. But baby, it all works together. It's got to go hand in hand.
You cannot physically show up and not mentally be there. It's hand in hand. So yeah, definitely. I echo that completely. I'm a neurodivergent teacher. ADHD, generalized anxiety disorder, bipolar disorder, super fun over here. Blast and a half. And I did the first 8 years, I think, of teaching unmedicated. And I couldn't figure out why, like, I couldn't get all of the tasks done in the day, why I was at work from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. and everybody else could go home. And I'm like, but how are you getting everything done? Like, I couldn't manage things. And then I would get easily upset by the students. And you go into this, like, relationship-based classroom management. Like, we just vibing. Like, why would you talk to me like that? We supposed to be, yeah. And it's not real management. That's just, like, kicking it. Kind of, you know?
Almost emotional blackmail.
Yeah, so it becomes exhausting and then you start taking things personally. You are a grown person taking 11-year-olds personally. Right. Like what they say hurt your feelings. I'm going to tell my mama, you don't know what you're doing. Blah, blah. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm here to, and then you're totally offended and that comment has triggered you and you can't do anything for the rest of the day that's productive. You're not helping the children anymore because you set. You've been set off. And you decided they can't come back in your class either. You done told everybody, they ain't coming back in here. I ain't teaching them. They could raise their hand. I ain't answering that. I'm like, I'm leaving.
It's like you got a whole attitude about a child.
About a child. But that's the mental health aspect of it. And that's huge to know. You need to identify what's going on and medicate if medication is needed, or just identify so you can find the solution. Because what happens is if you don't know what's going on and that 11-year-old tick you off, how are you going to help the child? And now that is a domino effect because you're mad at that 11-year-old and that domino's been pushed and you mad at everybody. You're going to take that anger and frustration out on you know what, everybody, what we're going to do? Everybody get out a piece of paper. Let's go. Start writing. I'll wait. What? We ain't having recess for the rest of the week. Play with me. Ain't nobody going outside.
and then you take that to your house and you yell at the people in your house that wasn't even in the building when you started. You're yelling at them too because it's out of control. If you can't call it and you can't claim it and you can't fix it, it is loose and free and out of control.
That's true. You have to give it a name. You have to identify it so it can, be fixed and they could be helped.
I would say name it, claim it, tame it.
Oh, you bet.
Okay.
Could you say it again?
Name it,
Better.
claim it. Don't be acting like ain't nothing wrong with you. Something might be wrong. Claim that thing. And then tame it.
Tame that thing.
Tame it. Do some yoga in the morning, some deep breaths, know when you need to take a break. Take your meds. If you get prescribed meds and then you don't take the meds, that doesn't help. I've been that girl. It does not help.
Yeah, meds on the shelf don't do nothing for you.
You have
Okay.
Name it, claim it, tame it. Oh, that was good.
That was good.
I like it.
Make sure that go on the social media.
That was good.
In your work, what unique stressors do Black educators face that may not get discussed enough?
Ooh. Okay, let me reverse that. What gets claimed? What do we honestly claim? What stressors do we claim aside from it's too much work or these kids too bad? What do we claim?
Those are usually the conversations that I had.
Mm-hmm.
That I hear rather.
Yeah.
Is that the kids are bad or I'm burnt out, like I'm exhausted, I can't do
And
this.
what causes you to be burnt out?
Not claiming and taming.
Or
Uh-oh.
here's a good one. These ain't like the kids I had before. I heard that so much. These ain't like the kids I used to teach. What are we not teaching in 1983? So get yourself together. It's 2025.
Or they'll say, or teachers will also say, I'm not good with all this technology stuff. Sunshine.
Again, 2025.
2025.
That's where we are.
Mhm.
There aren't even books really.
No.
It's all on the Chromebook.
Yep.
Electronics, technology and things of that sort. So I don't know how to use all this technology stuff, or parents aren't involved. I called the mama and she's not answering the phone.
She at work. It's 2025.
No, the truth of the matter is I've blocked her number. I've blocked the real talk.
They blocked the school.
They have blocked
Yes,
the
they
number to the school. So when you call, you just get the
Immediately.
phone ringing
Immediately. Yes.
and that's it. And so, yeah, they just are behind times on everything. If they're behind times, that's stressful. Classroom management, lack of classroom management skills is a huge stressor. Because these kids are different nowadays. They are extremely different. This is our first year where phones aren't allowed in the classrooms. So that's good. But I got an iPad. Here's my phone. I'm going to use my iPad.
I got a phone. I got to watch. I'm just going to
That
check my
part.
messages on here. Yeah.
And then say, I'm in class. But taking the phone up, we're technology driven.
Yeah. That's wild to me that it's y'all's first year though.
Yes, it is. It's the first
Oh,
year
y'all do
across
that
the district.
already. Y'all do
Decent. We've never had phones in schools. I've been teaching 13 years. Nobody. You have to turn them in at the front door. But we also have, schools with metal detectors. There's security at the front door that wands every single student as they come in, and then you turn in your phone and they check your book bag, and then you go into the building.
Well, we do have the.
And this
metal
is a
detector.
pre-K through 8, by the way, not a high school.
It's a high school.
I'm telling you what I'm telling you.
Started young, so they already know the process.
There's no confusion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is what we do.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this since first grade. So when you come to high school, it's not, man, what? Hey, man, y'all tripping, bro. Y'all
doing too much.
If
y'all
anything,
blowing me.
our high schoolers are allowed to have their phones. They're not allowed to have them in class. Like you have to put them in your locker or whatever, but
Locker. They don't have lockers.
y'all got lockers.
Not everybody.
City
Yeah.
mouse meets country mouse. I'm like, what do you mean? I had a locker. I went to school in this city and I had a
Well, it
locker.
doesn't exist now, though.
My students at my high school that I just retired from did have lockers. They never used them because they didn't have any books because everything was on their computer.
They don't have books.
So there's no books.
Technology.
So they didn't have to. They never used their lockers except if they were on a team, because that was when they put their PE workout. and stuff
Now
on.
that you mention it, though, it was a performing arts magnet, like
You-
a performing arts.
you were
tournament.
always
So
changing your clothes.
Yeah, it's like so. Well, I was just fashionable, but we did have you had to put your put your clothes for dance practice and your
Yeah.
instrument books and you know, we had things. I had things.
But if we go back a second about the classroom management piece and the phones, I'm gonna play devil's advocate just a little bit. I didn't really mind my kids having their phones in my class. I didn't mind it because there was so much technology in their hand that those that the computers didn't work, the phones still do. And so there's so much technology that we're acting as if we don't have. And we complain that our Chromebooks are broken and that the internet's wonky and this, that, and the other. But the phone is working. So I would have them pick their phone and put it face down on their desk. Face down on your desk, because you do have your watch and you do have your iPad and you are always connected and your AirPods are in and you put your hair over it so I can't see it.
Right.
And I'm not going to go by and say, let me see what's in your ear. I'm not going to do all of that. So what I would do is put the phone right there and let me teach for 15 minutes and then let you do something. And while you're doing it, if you check a message, I'm not going to die. But I was also teaching high school for 5 years. And if we don't teach them to deal with technology, they're going to be adults that are lunatics, because how many of us have gone someplace and the adults on their phone when they should be helping me? Yeah. So I had to teach them to balance it. That if you have a second, because if I get a second, I'm going to check my phone to see what message I got. So that me playing devil's advocate, I was like, I want them to be cognizant adults. I want them to be professional adults. I don't want them to be lunatics like, hey, look at my phone. I need them to know you can put it down and pick it back up. The message will still live there. So I play devil's advocate. The phone wasn't the biggest deal to me. Back to y'all. Okay, that was it. That was it.
I actually wanted to run it back to the mental health challenges and like the way that we have to show up to support the scholars. Since the pandemic, a lot of districts have taken this. A lot of districts have taken a lot of buzzwords and put them out there, like wellness and like teacher self-care, and you're going to get a wellness day. We're going to give you back the gift of time by ending this meeting 10 minutes early.
Go ahead.
What are
Now you're a stand-up comic. Go ahead.
They've been saying all sorts of fun buzzwords. I feel like there are certain districts and certain school leaders have really put in true efforts on trying to make sure that teachers have a good work-life balance and that teacher wellness is a part of their culture. Have you seen any of that work in your district? And if not, what do you suggest for school leaders to do to support teachers?
I actually have seen that. We had a wellness day and it was really cool. Maybe about 2 years ago with the wellness day, you were able to pick where you wanted to go. They did a massage. It was skating at the skating rink. Yeah.
We got a good skating rink.
It's gone.
What? I'm so glad I don't live here anymore.
Never mind. Carry on.
Okay, yeah. So, so it was a professional wellness day, and employees, we just had to pick what section. You know, you were able to pick what session you wanted to go to. So that day was dedicated to wellness day. So you can pick your sessions, and like I said, it was massage. And then another time was the chiropractor. You were able to, it was free, and if you signed up for it, you can go and yeah. So
I need that.
Listen. Oh, yes. Okay, so let me calm. Because I felt it. Like, yes. I think that is really good, but they need to have more. And they also need to have, if a teachers should be allowed to use a mental health day.
Yeah.
And it's not a sick day. It's not professional leave. I'm not digging in my pot to make sure I'm okay to show up and be there for my babies. You know, a mental health day is just, I'm tired.
Yeah.
And I need today. Now we can't take advantage of it because that's why we won't get it. But I think that every teacher should be required, just like truck drivers. You know, when you're a truck driver, you can't drive over a certain amount of hours because they understand fatigue will kick in. I got it. No, we're gonna make you stop and take time. Teachers need that exact same thing because that's why teacher burnout exists. Because we don't make ourselves stop and rejuvenate ourselves. Everything has, shelf life, if you will. And with the shelf life, batteries and phones, and as we know, everything has to stay charged up. Why don't we have to stay charged up? We get tired. Saturday and Sunday, are you kidding? What is that? By the time I relax and chill on Saturday, and Sunday it's time to get ready for Monday. So we really have one day out of 7 days to get it together. No, that's not an option. Mental health days should be required, just like truck drivers have.
I love
Time to
that
retire.
idea.
You know,
I love that idea of a mandatory every like 6 weeks. It's time for somebody to take a.
Mhm.
That idea. That's such a
Yeah.
good idea.
Now, I honestly
really
got into
good idea.
education because I know me. I can't deal with redundancy. I can't deal with it- Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And this
Mhm.
is my office, and this is where I'm coming. Oh, sweet Jesus! I
Mhm.
know. I understand me,
Mm-hmm.
and so I think it's important for us to teach our babies how to understand themselves. So that's why I got into education, because I need the breaks. I need summer vacation.
Mhm.
I need Christmas. I need Thanksgiving. I need spring break. I don't want to be docked for that. People will say, "Oh, you don't get paid in education." Well, I really, honestly, if you add up my time I work 10 months.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I get paid just like you do. I have my time off that I'm still getting paid for. It's broken down. Teachers need that. My godmother worked up in Pennsylvania, and they had a year-round they were a year-round school.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh, I don't know if I like that. But it was like every 6 weeks. When
Yeah,
you
so
said that, that's
every
what
week,
sparked me.
yeah.
Every 6 weeks, then they have the break. Then the 6 weeks, they have a break. So it's just like they understand we can't just go from January to June, Monday through Friday, with a break here and there, and not give you that time off that you need to just re-energize yourself, you know? So definitely they need to start giving the breaks, giving the breaks for mental health.
So really excellent suggestion. And I would say the fatigue, especially for Black educators, the intersectionality of your career and the culture, you can burn out a lot faster, I would think. Like there's so much microaggression and like little pieces of trauma that you deal with just being a Black American walking around that can be exhausting. A lot of masking that people do, a lot of code switching that people do, and it's really, really tiring. And on top of that, the workload of being an educator, I feel like it's almost like a double duty of needing to make sure that you are taking that time for yourself.
Definitely, yeah, because educators, you have to understand, most of us are women, and so you will be an educator, you're in the classroom, so you have about 27 kids.
Yes. If you have one class.
If you have one class.
Because most of us have multiple.
Right. I'm a school counselor, high school. I don't have a class.
You have an alphabet.
You have a caseload.
I have a caseload.
Million people.
M through Z. In our building is over 1,100 children.
Jesus.
Won't he do it? But so it's a good side to that. It's just like God has given me the ability to touch and bless so many. I can throw a little seed. This is so awesome. But on the same note, I got a lot of kids.
That's a lot of kids. It's a lot of kids.
I'm auntie on some. I'm mom on some. Mrs. Smith on some. I'm that. But I had a lot of kids. And at a certain point, before my kids were adults and going off to school, I had to go home to some kids.
No break.
I'm gonna pass the mic to you, other parent person.
Right. That's a lot. That's a lot.
And
And so the burnout happens mentally, physically, and emotionally.
And financially.
Oh, Lord, yes.
Yes.
Because you're buying those babies in the school, you're buying them socks, you're buying them drawers, you're buying some bras, you're buying pads, soap, deodorant, lotion.
All of it.
Getting people's hair braided, getting people's haircuts, supporting people getting their prom dresses, making sure they don't look crazy at the dance.
Helping with senior dues because they have to have their it's a lot. So, oh my God, mental health.
So important. So important. And if we could just talk about as a Black female, because that's all I can talk about, because that's all I've ever been. So I can only talk about being a black female. Being a black female, like my daughter said, you have to watch the way you speak, or else you're going to be angry, or you have to, or you're me. So if she's from the north and I teach in the south, so I have to check my accent and make sure it doesn't get too strong, that Brooklyn doesn't jump all the way out of me. Then I have to make sure that you don't let a cuss word slip because somebody done got on your last nerves. I thought you was Christian, and now you done said the D word. What's wrong with you? And then you can't roll your eyes. You can't have a bad day. You can't have a bad hair day, because every child will ask you, what's wrong with your hair? What's wrong? So they'll drive you crazy. Don't gain no weight. Don't lose no weight. Don't get sick, because then you got to make up for all that time that you've missed when you were sick. Lord, don't have to have surgery. I had to have surgery. I actually snuck in the side door of the school to do the work because nobody was taking care of my babies. So I ended up, after having a hysterectomy, sneaking into the school to meet my students, because it was beginning of the new semester and they hadn't met me. And I said, it's going to fall apart if I don't come in. And I had to wait for my husband to drive away for work so I could sneak into the school and then sneak back home and never let him know that I'd been there.
He knows now.
He basically found out eventually.
Okay.
It's so much. And then you just switch hats. You're a counselor. You are you're a mom. You're a big sister. You're a big brother, big sister to the teachers.
You're an advocate.
You're everything. Some children come out to you. Some children want you to fix their love life. Some children hate their parents and want you to be their parent.
Oh my God.
Some kids want to come to the Lord and they want you to give them some scripture. You have so many different things you do, and it's not even 10 o'clock yet. And you wonder if you could just eat, but then somebody's standing over you while you're trying to shove food in your mouth, and then there's a meeting. Can I just have that? Can I taste it? What's that? You a vegan? What does that look like? Real food? Can I eat it? I'm like, oh my God.
Because you're also like responsible. You're like a gateway of culture for kids. So everything you do, they want to be like,
You doing that? What's that?
I ain't never seen that before. Let me have some, because they trust you.
Yes.
So now they want to know every little aspect. It's exhausting.
Everything.
It's beautiful.
And I wouldn't have traded it for
Oh my God.
anything.
Best job ever, but it is tiring.
But when you need to take a knee, you need to take a knee because you're given 100%.
Coach.
Hey, because a good coach wouldn't let an athlete.
Listen.
They will say you got to sit down. That's why there's a 6-man on the team. That's why there's a backup quarterback. It's because you can't play the entire game. You're gonna burn yourself out. So they
That's why
tap somebody
timeouts-
else in.
Timeouts exist.
But they don't tap nobody in for the teacher.
No.
And then for a black teacher, you are code switching on top of everything else. My God, today. You need to take a knee, take a nap, take a break, take a chill.
Take a timeout for you. Timeout, coach.
Use your time off. That's what it's for.
I left the classroom 3 years ago to work in this new like hybrid awesome role of awesomeness, where I still work directly with the kids, but I don't have a homeroom that I'm responsible for, kind of like Mama Gia. And the big switch was that I went from 10 months to 12 months. And I had, so I don't get any of the breaks. I don't get summer break. My Christmas break is actually technically shorter than everybody else's. And so is my Thanksgiving break. I still am on call for a lot of those days, or I have to take my own leave to be off while the teachers are off. And I've been doing it for 3 years, and I just started taking off this school year, and the school year just started, and I'm here right now. Guess where the children at? Not with me, because I took off to come and do something different. It's a hard habit to break, but it's worth it.
It's necessary.
Yeah.
It's needed. Everyone needs a time out. If nothing else, just to review the game plan. You know, you got to take a time out.
We are full of metaphors today. We're killing it right now.
You're welcome.
Just for the record. Also, can we get into these shirts for a second? Mommy got the "No, it's cooler than magic" math. Excellent. We got the
Wait.
"You matter." Oh, go because I gotta see it. Get there.
988.
Tomorrow.
The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
Oh, tomorrow needs you.
Come on,
Beautiful.
Yes.
I'm out here for the queers. I'm out here. It says all places should be safe spaces. Okay.
All of them.
All of them, all the places. Just want to get into some of this black fashion and educational inspiration. Now we over here all melanated and excellent and whatnot. Do you have any final notes for our core conversation today? on making sure that the teacher, the whole teacher, is taken care
If
of.
you could give one piece of advice to teachers out there, what would you tell them?
Take a time out. The only way you can be effective, the only way is if your glass is full. And if you see it getting low, you have to take a time out and go refill it, you know? So I think anyone in education, this is not for the weak. Not for the weak. So be smart and take a time out to be awesome. Take a time out, refill your cup so you can continue to pour into the lives of our babies, you know? I think we are definitely chosen. This is not, again, for the weak. And if somebody's in education, they're meant to be there. When you think about how many lives you can touch,
Yes.
how many lives you can, how God can just use you to say something and then that baby grow up. You remember you told me I was great? You remember you told me never forget how wonderful you are? Do you remember you told me? Do you remember? And I'm like, yeah. And I don't, because it was God using me. And
Right.
he can't use a broken vessel. So stop and feel yourself so you can pour and you can go out and do his work. Yeah, definitely. Stop.
Well, we have had so much good information. You need to rewind this and listen to it again, because that's what I'm going to do, because that's a lot of good information. And if you're looking at us, we is cute while we giving you this information. We look good. All right. So now this is the part where we talk about joy. No, seeds. This is the seeds part. Yes. Yes.
After our core conversation, get into the metaphors, apple, core, the message. After our core conversation, we go into our seeds for growth. So what are our things that we're going to take away? I think that name it, claim it, tame it is definitely a seed
that's there.
for growth.
That's a
Okay?
T-shirt. That's a bumper sticker.
That like,
Next shirt. Next
merch,
shirt.
honey. Check the website. The website is live. Okay. Any other, what are your big, that was my big takeaway, I think, was the taking a break the same way that truck drivers have to take a break. Like, make sure that your engine is still running smooth.
There it is. Just like they have to deliver whatever they have to deliver their shipment, but their boss knows you have to drive from California all the way to Texas, and you have some precious cargo with you, but you will stop and rest so you do not fall asleep or be ineffective and damage my cargo. So you will stop. No, I got it, boss. I got it. I know what's back there. I got it. I don't care what you say. Let me tell you what you're going to do. You're going to stop so I can make sure you're well rested and you are alert and you're effective and you get my cargo to where it's supposed to be. Exact same thing for us.
Come on, metaphor.
We have to rest so we can get our message out and be there for our precious, for his precious cargo.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
A seed for growth, mama?
I can't add nothing else to that. That was all amazing. That was amazing. So you should have something that you can take away with you and implement today, not even tomorrow. Just go to somewhere and lay down. Just go somewhere and lay down. Just stop.
If they're in the dryer,
Drop.
leave them.
Shut them
fold
down.
'em.
Open up shop. Hey.
Oh.
Oh. That's how
a
black
rough ride.
teachers roll. Hey.
A mess. Definitely. And also, what are your seeds for growth? What were your big takeaways? Drop them in the comments. Email us at info@blacktoschoolmovement.com. Let us know what you were thinking. Follow us on all of our social media platforms and let us know what your big takeaway, what are your seeds for growth from this conversation? Sure. The Black Teacher Joy segment of our podcast is always about a moment that was fully joy centered, something that reminds you why you keep doing this work, even in the midst of cuckoo nanner sandwich craziness, right? We've had some really great stories and memories that we've shared so far about our educational journey and things that have made us happy, memories that just bring smiles to our hearts. What is a Black Teacher Joy moment that you can share with us, Mama Gia?
Before I became a counselor, I was an instructor at Savannah Technical College for 16 years. And last year, one of my students from Savannah Tech, I taught early childhood education, and she sent an email and said, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me. My name is Shannon, whatever. but you were my teacher at Savannah Tech. I just want you to know.
So sweet already.
I know, right? In May, I graduated with my master's degree in education,
Come on.
and in she's in North Carolina. She's teaching. Her husband was in the military, but and she has 2 kids. But she said everything you taught me was phenomenal, and I appreciate you so much. I won Teacher of the Year.
Shut up.
I said, "Oh my goodness, yes, I remember." And she said, "I looked you up and realized you weren't in Savannah Tech anymore, but I saw your name and you work in the school system. I hope this is you." Listen to what I say. I printed off that email.
I would have been bald.
Listen, I printed the email off and it's on my wall.
I know that's right.
Oh,
Because it's just like, I know I was hard on purpose. The first day I would say, if you're in this program because you couldn't get into the nursing program and you're waiting, trying to build your GPA up, my goal is to get you out of my program because I am working with people who are ready to change lives.
Come on.
And so I was hard on purpose the first, few class meetings. And I told him, I said, my goal is to get rid of the riffraffs. If you're not serious about this, we are in early childhood education. So you are that first stepping stone. You're building that foundation. Right.
Yeah.
And if you're not serious about landing the foundation for my babies, you can cancel it. I'm getting you out of this program.
No, that's right.
Yeah. So that is my
That's beautiful.
wonderful.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Well, thank you for sharing your teacher joy with us for
That
today.
is my teacher joy, yes.
Black Teacher Joy brought to you today by Discover Black Savannah. Discover Black Savannah, Black tourism at its best.
I love when she turns on her commercial voice.
I so want to do commercials. I could do voiceovers. I really could. Okay, carry on.
All right. Shout out to Discover Black Savannah. We are going to transition to our teacher tailgate, which means it's time to go get a drink. We'll see you soon.
This ain't on the test. This ain't on the test. This ain't on the test with your host Brandon in bed. This ain't on the test. This ain't on the test. This ain't on the test with your host Brandon in bed. And